Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And we're back. So we're back dealing with this monstrosity of a fireplace. Now, you might notice it looks a little different than it was. Probably a little worse for wear. She's quite literally falling apart, by the way. Definitely not structural anymore. More concerning than what it's worth. So I've already started up on the roof. We're taking the chimney down. And this is for a few reasons. One, because it is structurally unsuitable anymore. It's just this old mortar has crumbled away over the time with fires and stuff like that. It's not good anymore. And number two, which is probably the main reason, is that our new roof support relies on upsized rafters. So to do the upsized rafters, we need to make it pick up onto this load-bearing wall behind us, and we just can't use this chimney. It doesn't work.
But I am a stickler for reusing absolutely everything that we can. And it was really sad for me to lose this fireplace because it's the original fireplace to the house. The room is anchored by this fireplace and we'll be keeping a fireplace here. Yeah. And I very desperately wanted to keep this fireplace because it's really one of the only things we had left that kind of had any of its original features.
Yeah.
So our plan is, unfortunately, because it's just not safe, we're going to have to remove it. But our plan is to reuse the bricks to create a pizza oven outside one day. Not anytime soon.
3 years.
In 3 years. No, not anytime soon, but we will be storing the bricks, keeping them safe and clean and well looked after so that we can reuse these bricks in approximately 3 years to build our pizza oven and like our outdoor kitchen. So we are going to have to instead of dismantling them and throwing them in a skip, we will have to dismantle them, clean every single one, stack every single one.
We are all about repurposing material, waste not, want not, so we'll clean it, we'll hang on to it and reuse it.
I'm driving down an empty freeway, no waiting for the light to change. I'm seeing the sunrise behind me.
It's too hot to be digging.
So
So muggy.
It's muggy.
It's there. I'm so wet. I've been digging for like 20 minutes. So here we have a stack of bricks.
And a chai.
And a chai. Chai's not from the chimney, however these bricks are.
They're actually really beautiful. Like the colour variation is. I kind of want to leave them here. They're beautiful. So that will be our pizza oven one day.
Yeah, something like that.
They're actually really beautiful.
You reckon?
Yeah, you don't?
I mean, the black burntness probably takes it away
I
from
like
me.
it. No, that's character.
That's character. It's certainly got character. It's a fair amount of bricks in that chimney. You don't realise until you start taking them all down and they start falling everywhere, and then you have to start cleaning them, removing them and stacking them, and you realise there's quite a few.
Definitely.
Bit of a speed hump in our progress, but it had to be done. It wasn't safe, so, and we needed it for our framing, so it had to go. But we don't want to waste anything on this house, so stack it and we'll reuse it.
They'll live here for 3 years or something like that.
Yeah, probably more.
But so they're really beautiful. I'll show you the top here. It says Box Hill in the top, which is where they would have been made, I'm guessing. And I think they're really, really beautiful. Like, if we could build something out of that, I think that would look stunning.
We will be able to.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I love days like today. Brad hates them because he's all like sweaty and hot and bothered. But I absolutely love them. They're a classic Australian like summer storm feel. It's like hot, you know, the birds are out, all the bugs and the spiders, they're climbing everywhere, and it's muggy. I'm a cold person, like I still have a jacket on. I'm a cold person, so the heat doesn't bother me, but I just love it. It just makes me feel like summer is coming. It's been such a wet last few years. We have La Nina happening in Australia right now, and it's been a tough few years. There's a lot of flooding happening across Australia, and if you're flood affected, you know, our hearts really go out to you. Today, I have set myself the task of finishing this window. Finishing this window once and for all. These windows, they are like the gift that keeps on giving. Brad's moving bricks. They're just so fiddly. Like, yeah. You think you're kind of getting there, getting somewhere, and then no. There's all these like bits where you gotta use these little brushes to get into the detail, and I have never worked on a project that is so fiddly and just takes so much energy and time to just get it across the line. And because Brad's put so much work into building these windows from scratch, I don't want to stuff up the finishes, because yeah, the finishes are everything. You've got to put the energy into the finishes. We were joking the other day and saying, like, you know, 80% of the work of a project is in the finishes. It's where you take so long, it gets really fiddly and finicky. I feel that today. So my plan for today is that I've given myself an incentive. If I get this full window done, like done, finished, defected, happy to say I have completed this window, then I'm going to go to Savers or all the op shops that we have, like this strip of op shops. There's a lot in a row. I'm going to go to op shops and I'm going to look for art. At the moment I have this like obsession with collecting original artwork from thrift stores, like op shops, vintage shops. They don't have to be like well-known artists, but I look for, you know, original art that has the texture of the brushwork and is signed and framed. And the most beautiful thing about it is they often have like notes on the back of the artwork. They've got like dates and maybe a place. Like I just bought one that's from Western Australia and it says like 1981. And so yeah, I'm like have this obsession with hunting for art now, and they're not always easy to find. And I find that like you can never pick the op shop that will have art. I mean, of course, it's random. So you go into like a tiny one on Main Street and they'll have like beautiful artworks one day and then they won't for another 6 months. And so you just like, it's about consistency. I've got my plan down pat. Anyway, I'll show you what I've collected so far, and I think I'll need to restore some of the frames and paint some of the frames, and maybe like lay out where in the house they might want to go. So yeah, my thing today is if I get this window finished, complete, then I can go and do some art hunting, which is my favorite thing to do on a moody day like today. Here the hardware that we're about to put on the windows, which is very exciting. I thought I'd show you a few gems that I found in Savers while I was there. I didn't find any art, which is a bit of a shame, but like with any op shopping or thrift shopping or whatever you want to call it, even when you go vintage store hunting, it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you're going to get stuff, sometimes you're not. It is what it is. It's part of the thrill of the hunt. But I did find a few ceramics. I have been looking for like ceramic candlestick holders for so long. They came with like Christmas candles and like this kind of, what do you call this, ribbon, like wrapping ribbon. Took that off, that's not my style. And then I took the candles out and will probably replace them with a different kind of candle. I really love this kind of, you can see like this, it's like a beautiful handmade terracotta coloring. We have a lot of black highlights in our house, and in order to have that earthy, grounded feel, I wanted to make sure that I also have these terracotta colors and these natural textures. The other thing I found was this little jug. Looks handmade by by a person called Crosby with the signature at the bottom. It's like this olive green jug, but also has the terracottas through it. It's very beautiful as well. It has so much texture, and we will be bringing a lot of green throughout the house, and so I definitely thought this was stunning. Finding, you know, handcrafted pieces for your house doesn't have to be an expensive activity. Like going to op shops and vintage stores is such a great way to start collecting and curating pieces for your house that are so unique, like this one, which is obviously handmade by just a random person, that, you know, it just gives your house this like beautiful sense of a curated collection that really reflects your style. I love looking at the background and finding the stories. Anyway, we're gonna go put some hardware on windows, which I'm so excited about. I got whacked. The window. This is why we need to be able to shut our windows. We officially have weather seals. Here they are. One more step to finishing these windows off.